And if I say to you tomorrow, take my hand, child, it's to a castle I will take you, where what's to be the same. The wind sees been sailed away, leave the day where I in the sky. And the wind won't blow, the rain shouldn't go, only just to share that you will be mine by taking a time. And if you say to me tomorrow, I'm falling off then what's to stop us, but what is and what should be done? The wind sees been sailed away, leave the day where I in the sky. And the wind won't blow, the rain shouldn't go, only just to show that you will be mine by taking a time. So if you wake up with the sunlight, all your dreams are still as new, and happiness is what you need so bad. Girl, it's alive with you. The wind sees been sailed away, leave the day where I in the sky.
Hey everybody, what is going on? Jake Andrews here. Welcome back to my channel, Jake Andrews Music, blues and rock guitar lessons coming at you today. And you know what? Today I just felt like playing some Zeppelin. So this song came up. It's a pretty easy one, a fun one to play. It sounds great on its own, even without any accompaniment, because you're playing all the chords and the riff and the solo as well. So it's really fun. And sometimes you just feel like jamming on some Zeppelin songs. And you'll notice that I played an adapted solo on this. I'm not playing the original slide part. I've adapted it so you can play it with straight fingers. Those of you that don't want to learn the slide part or don't play slide, it's a fun way to make the song sound like the original. So the song was recorded in the spring and summer of 1969 for Led Zeppelin II. The second album came out October of '69, and this is the second track on the album, right after Whole Lotta Love. So without further ado, let's hop in here and let me show you how I like to play it and teach it. All right, everybody, welcome into the lesson, What Is and What Should Never Be. The song is in the key of E. All right. However, we are starting on A, and more specifically, an A13. And so let's look at that for a second. Here would be my regular A bar chord. And basically, actually, the two chords on the verse are just A to E, back and forth. All right? So this would be a regular A bar chord. Here would be my F shape. If I added the dominant 7 to this string, so here's my root, that would be the dominant 7. So here would be the full dominant 7. And here's the half shape. And now finally I'm adding the 6, which is on the second string. And now we would call that a 13. So this is actually an A13. And the way he's playing this is just getting these 3 strings right there, and then including the open A string as well. So we're just strumming those 4 strings, and that is called an A13. And we are strumming 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, it's a very light strum, a light sound. And then we are going over here to an E7. We can start with just that little triad. That would be an E dominant 7. But if you listen, you can hear him also occasionally play the 9, which would be the pinky on the second string. All the while we're strumming all these strings, so he's kind of alternating between an E7 and a 9. Same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we can include the open low E string as well. So real light, in time, make sure it grooves. And without further ado, here we go. And we stop there. So you see it's kind of 3.5 full rounds. We do the A to E, A to E, A to E, and then finally just one more A, and then that's where we are going to change to the next section. By the way, on this A chord you could use first, middle, ring, or if you'd rather, first, middle, pinky. Either way. What's cool about using your pinky is that if you go over to an E9, you don't have to lift that. So that's kind of fun. Again. Third time. And then this last A. and it starts to build, right? Okay, so now we go into our next section. This is a little run on these notes here in A. And Jimmy Page is doing this. Okay, so we're strumming the open A string the entire time with this. And then pulling off. So he's on the A note here on the D string, that root note, but he's pulling it off. Okay, then we back up, do it here on the G, the flat 7. And then we do it here on F sharp. And then we do this. So that's kind of a D over A. So it's coming from our C shape, but it's a D chord. So, and then a 1-finger A. And include the open A on both of those. All right, so let's try that. You feel that push, bam, bam, and do it again. Now, a variation, this is just something I like to do, is to actually pull that off to your first finger here. And then back here. I like that sound as well. Again. And once you're up to full speed, you can either downstroke it or you could alternate it. Just make sure you include that open A string there. All right, so we do that 2 rounds. Now we go to a B bar chord. And we really only need the 5th, 4th, and 3rd string. Okay? It's like the power chord notes. And we do this kind of alternating. So what is that? We're doing a B, and we're hitting the root notes separate from the 4th and 3rd strings. Do that twice. Then we drop the B and we put an A on top. Okay, we would call that a B over A. And then we're going to put our middle finger right here on the G sharp note. And we're going to do it here. Jump to a regular open E, back to B. Let's try that. So at full speed, you hear him filling it in a little more. It's not so crystal clear. All right, but that's that section, so we just do it once there. Finally, right here in this same spacing, we're going to get on an F sharp bar chord. And in fact, it might be an F sharp 7. So either one is going to work. But we strum it and just kind of let it ring out. Or lightly continue to strum it if you're playing by yourself, just to fill it out a little more. Jump to a 1-finger A. This time we want to strum it all the way down. And now including this note, that is the 6th in the key of A. And so we would call this an A6. Okay, so strum that once. Let it ring out or fill it in a little bit. Finally, come up here, middle finger, and we're going to take it back to E. We can either just hit the low E string by itself or the power chord, which I like. Let it ring out, and then rinse and repeat, verse 2. Okay, so let's go back and play this entire section, slow down. Let it ring out. And if I said to you tomorrow. Verse 2, y'all. Same as the first verse. Start to build it up. Here we go. Okay, and we let it ring out, and that's where we start the solo. Great job, guys. Basically just two identical verses right in a row, and now we're to the solo. So, of course, the solo is a slide solo. I just thought it would be fun to show you a simple way of playing it and getting that sound he gets on this without playing slide. For those of you that don't want to switch over to playing slide or don't know how to play slide, this will be a fun way to get that sound. So we are in the key of E, and we're kind of switching between E major pentatonic, E minor pentatonic, mixing it all up, all right? Now, this is just the way I've worked out playing it. You could certainly find these notes in different places, but this is what I thought sounded cool. So I'm in E, up here at this high position, but I'm playing back here kind of in this major position behind the root. And I'm doing this. So we end on that C sharp note. That's the 6. It's the 6th of E, but it's the 3rd of A. All right. So I start there on the 4th string, 3rd string root, and then I'm bending this twice, and then letting it come down, and rolling right back up to that C sharp note. If you like, you could also slide it. But I like the sound of the bend. And then he adds the harmony note, right? So to get that, I'm going, doing the same bend, but I'm holding down this B note right here on my pinky. Basically the same lick, just with the addition of that harmony note. If you were sliding, you could do this. And try to get it very smooth and let those notes really ring out, okay? Because that's how he is playing it on slide. Now, the third kind of lick, I'm coming up in my E minor pentatonic box, first position. Mostly here, but I'm going to use some major notes as well. And I did this. All right, so I'm all in this box, and so I slid in on the first finger, barred down on strings 1 and 2, and I went. Out here, second string. Okay, that is the D note. 1, 2, 3. Then I went to the third string and I got this. So I bent the third string up. And I really want to hear that kind of cascading sound up and down. And then I hammered on the second string from the B to the C sharp, which is the 6. You could also slide. Okay? And then I followed it up with this. All right, I think it kind of gets the sound he was playing on slide. So that second piece, hit the second string. And then on the first string here, I'm going to bend it here at 14 up to the third. So it's a major note. Back to the first to second. And then do that same piece here on the third string. Or okay, so that's the first half of the solo. Let's play that all together. 1, 2, 3. Let it ring out. Now. Now. Okay, and all the while, we've just been playing over the main verse. Now comes this section. So we're going to come up here and we're going to do this. We're imitating the slide over our one finger A, but up here high. See, that's just part of our... But we're going to imitate the slide by sliding in on our ring finger. You could use any other finger, but just try your ring finger, and we're going to strum those 3 strings. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hitting the D to A. Do it all again. Obviously, because we're imitating slide, we want to really hear the slide part of it. So normally I would say you could just slide into something up here, but we really want to hear the trail off as well. Now we're going to do the same thing over B, so a full step higher. And then you could do the E to B here. Or if you want to keep it closer to make it a little easier, you could go E to B here. Now, of course, that's just one round. Okay, and at that point, that's where we go to the F sharp. So you could hit it there quickly, or you could get it here. Just to kind of set the tone of the chords that are being played underneath. But we need to quickly get back here to the lead lick. Okay, and so that's what I'm playing here. We're going up to the E note. We're just walking it back. And that's 1, 7, 6. And then come in on this ring finger. Okay, so we're getting these notes again. And then you can go and end back here on the B note. So that's that second string. And of course, the original, the slide really trails off. It's hard to get that sound. But you can keep the volume up and try it. All right, so let's do this new section. And that is my interpretation of the solo played in just straight fingers. Okay, hope you like that. Feel free to go learn the original slide solo if you like, but this is just a fun way to make it easy to play. All right, so that's the solo. Let's go ahead and play the whole solo together. All right, so we're coming out of... 2, 3, 4, 1. 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. Now. And here we go. B. F sharp. All right, and then a long pause, and we come back in with the third verse, exactly the same as the other two. Build it up. All right, so a long pause there, and then we start this ending riff, and that's what we're gonna go out on. And that riff looks like this. Okay, so let's look at that. So the first time we come in after that long pause, big long pause. Now we go. All right, so what are we doing up there? This is our E bar chord. And this is very common. It's a different voicing. Still an E, but we have the third on top. And this is very common, very Hendrixy, where we're hammering into that ring finger on the 5th string or the 4th string and barring here on our 1st finger. So we're still playing over E major. Really, we're in this box. Okay, so we are starting on the 5th and 4th string. We're going to strum them and then bring our ring finger down just on the 5th string, so you have to be real curved up. Now drop to the 4th and 3rd and do the same thing there. Now we're going to take it back a full step, so we're playing over D. This time the timing is right in a row, and then turn it back into an E bar chord and do. Okay, so that sounds like. Now that's the only time he plays it like that, okay? So just work on this to get those notes real clear. You're gonna have to swing it in a little bit so you can get your ring finger up here. And see this piece again? Very Hendrixy, like Wind Cries Mary. Okay, so once again, we're coming out of 2, 3, 4. Now, this next time, he does these together. And from here on out, they're going to be just like that. And he's going to take this all the way to the end until it fades out. So, da, da. He also starts playing this syncopated, muted in between, okay? So you can mess around with that. You're going to want to mute the strings in between and just get that chicken scratch. So, and so one more time, I'm going to take it from the end of the 3rd verse. 2, 3, 4. Now, still a clean break. Now start syncopating it. And take it all the way out. Also include the low open E string when you do here. All right, and that's a great way to end it. It's a fade, of course, but that would be a great way to end it if you were playing it live. My friends, great job. This is a fun one. Pretty simple. Fun to play that adapted solo if you don't know how to play slide or if you just don't want to. And have fun with it. I'll see you back out there. Now, I would also like to mention some of my instructional courses that are available right now. I have a course called the Ultimate Freddie King Instrumentals course. This course teaches you note for note Freddie King's earliest instrumental recordings, his most influential stuff, the Hideaway album. It's amazing, and the phrasing that he uses is so unique and invaluable. And there's nothing like learning the actual songs and licks from the masters to try to start to integrate that timing and phrasing and those licks into your playing. Freddie King was a master of major and minor hybrid playing, and that really comes out in his sound. So look into that, my Freddie King Ultimate Instrumentals course. And my other newest course is called 7-Day Blues Guitarist. In this course, we really start at the beginning and we lay the foundation for starting to improvise your own blues lead guitar playing. We learn 5 unique blues verses and numerous concepts along the way, like playing over chord changes, rhythm, blues chords, funkier chords, double stops, bending, Everything is contained within this to get you on the road to start playing real blues lead guitar playing. So look into these 2 courses to augment the videos on this channel, and I think you're really going to be pleased. Okay, my friends, hope you enjoyed that. Have fun working on it. Try playing along with the original track to get the timing and all the parts and get the phrasing as well. You can look up backing tracks and play along with that. And if you did like the video, please leave me some comments, give me a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And my friends, I will see you next time.